Day Dawns ARKS. Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on March 26, 2024. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me here is Zance. Go ahead and say hello, or Rooks rather, go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we weren't sure if Zance was going to be joining us, and frankly, we
right at the last moment he's messaging us.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like they won't be able to join us here today, so it's just going to be the two of us here. Anyway, we've got the headline coming up in just about 4 minutes here, as well as some interesting news coming out of Clementine. You'll definitely want to stick around for that one, if you haven't heard about that one yet.
I definitely agree. I was not expecting this.
I don't think anyone was. This is a real surprise what they're cooking up here. But anyway, yeah. Let's talk about what's coming up this month here, specifically off of the roadmap. So, we know for New Genesis, of course, we got the 3rd anniversary coming up. Although that might happen more in May than it does in April here. We do have the Lucille Exploration expansion. I think there's a chance of that one happening this month. We know the Ultra High Difficulty Standing Party quest is coming. We know that for certain.
I think they were planning... I think that roadmap is a little behind. I'm pretty sure they were talking about also including a version of that that's much more accessible to everyone, or at least releasing the emergency quest version early.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll have to see if that actually happens or not here. There's also 4 limited time quests coming across the next 2 months. So, more FOMO.
Yep.
There's the Tech Arts Customization expansion coming, and in fact, we're pretty certain that's happening with the next update, given some other news that happened just this morning regarding game balance. And then we've got some build parts being ported over from PSO2. That could happen either this month or next month. And then there's the anime collab with Rurouni Kenshin happening this month. And then there's going to be a game... let's see. Games from other companies is what they list here, but I think that's probably going to show up in May more than April.
So I do remember hearing from several streamers saying that there was going to be a story released alongside this emergency quest, but I'm having a hard time believing that.
Yeah, I until Sega actually shows up and shuts us up, I'm of the belief that it's basically going to be the same thing as Solus. Basically, there's going to be the panic in the city, and then Crawford's going to come on screen and say, we don't know what's going on, but we need you to deploy immediately. And then when the whole thing is over, once we take down the boss, no thank you whatsoever. Because that's what happened with Solus.
Yep. And also the rank 2 version of Aegis, but at least you have the excuses that may not be canon. Well, probably not canon.
Yeah, well, we never heard anything specific about that, if that's to be considered canon or not.
Well, the stream started on Sega's side, but we're not seeing anything yet.
Yep, they usually take a minute or two to get started. Let's see here. Yeah, one of the things that was announced today as part of the balance changes, I guess we can talk about this briefly here, is they're basically putting cooldown on Encore Jump. Which means, while you can still spam it to get up to the top of a boss, it's only going to hit one time and then go into a cooldown. Which is interesting. I suppose it makes it so that players aren't just, like, nimbly jumping around the boss anymore, but at the same time, what is that going to do to, Oh, here we go!
Looks like I might be a little bit ahead of you.
Okay.
Hello, everyone! It's 9 p.m., so let's get started with NGS Headline.
So we don't have Hiro Arai today.
The official navigator of NGS, who is usually the MC for this program, is unable to join us today due to family reasons. So I, Yui Hasegawa, will be taking over today as guest navigator. I'll be subbing in for Hiro-san to bring you the latest info on NGS.
Makes me wonder what's going on with Hiro.
March is almost over, and we're starting to feel the spring breeze. The limited time event Spring 24 will be held in NGS until April 10th.
If I remember
Get
correctly,
ready to
he had a
joyous
child
tradition of
born not too
Hanami,
long
or
ago.
cherry blossom viewing, as trees across the land burst into vibrant shades of sakura pink. Every year, I enjoy having a virtual Hanami on planet Halpha, and this year is no different. Now, once again, this
Virtual
program is to
Hanami.
inform players about the current
All I can
operation
think
and
is
upcoming
you're
updates
really
of Sega's online
enjoying
RPG,
enjoying looking at
PSO2NGSv2,
texture
also known
change.
as NGS. We will also share details about exciting campaigns, peripheral information, and discuss the present and future of NGS for our players.
Yep. And hey, Ryubichu, hey, Stone.
This is a pre-recorded broadcast. If you would like to watch
Hi,
it in
Ryu.
Japanese,
Hi.
you can check it
Calm.
out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
NGS Hot Information.
In this episode, we would like to share some information about the March updates. Let's start with a video.
March updates? But yeah, how quickly are we gonna see Dark Falls here? Yep, there's Rurouni Kenshin.
So, more kimonos on top of the kimonos we already have.
Looks like it. Yeah, I never saw this show much when the original release came out, so I really can't say too much about it.
It was, well, what little I remember about it, and from what little I could actually see, Kenshin himself was a bit of a pacifist. He could fight, but he tried his best to never kill.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons why his blade is a reverse edge.
Looks like they're adding new gameplay elements. I noticed throw action as being something that can be buffed now. Makes me wondering how that's going to play out in boss battles. It's not an insignificant amount either. It's hitting for almost 100k there.
Oh boy, we're back to... we got another 10-star here.
Yep, I see it. So what do we want to call this? The crossover weapon series?
And... that's by the intended name. And we have Grav Executor.
Yep. Which means, yeah, they that whole bunch is in here now, apparently. Or at least the one is.
Did you catch whether that was a ruin or some other type?
I didn't see the name. Enable all ship matching? Okay, so they're finally doing it. That's actually huge.
That is great, but how are they pulling that off?
Maybe everybody that joins in, that clicks that button goes into a shared ship, like with challenge mode.
Ah, direct? Okay, good. Problem is, a lot of these new features don't actually solve the issues with the core gameplay.
No, they don't.
These are nice to haves, but not actual fixes to what we're missing.
Right. Vintage Classic, so this might be... No, this is not. I thought it might have been a scratch specific to build parts.
Didn't they say they were never going to do that?
It's possible, I can't remember it at this point. You know, for how long this game has been ongoing at this point, since New Genesis started, I'm surprised they never brought back the bold swimwear.
Well, that's the thing. They don't seem to... You've heard the common complaint is that there's not enough Type 1 outfits out there. There's not much interest in them and actually doing something like that. And that means from the dev team. Most of them are focused on female items, and typically Type 2 non-cast.
Yep. I mean, you want to talk about the hypersexualization of this game, there you go. That was sort of the outfit for Type 1s.
What did you think? Let me go through the details with these slides. Starting with this. NGS is excited to announce that our collab with the TV anime Rurouni Kenshin will start after the scheduled maintenance on April 3rd.
Oh yay,
Log in during the
cutouts.
collab period to get life-size cutout build
Yep.
parts of Kenshi Himura, Kaoru Kamiya, and other main characters as a login bonus. Next, let's take a look at the new AC scratch ticket, Rurouni Kenshin style. Use avatar items to cosplay as Kenshin Himura and Kaoru Kamiya and recreate the Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu with motion changes. Other collab items include portable holograms of life-size panels of each character, as well as stamps, build parts, and ARKS ID backgrounds. Plus, a weapon camo of the Sakabato sword that appears in the show is available as a scratch count bonus, so be sure to check that out as well. Please note that aside from the collab items, the lineup will include items from past AC scratch tickets. Next, although not in the video, SG Support Item Select April 2024 is coming on April 3rd.
Gigas Mask, but not Gigas Mask
The
Glam?
lineup is identical to the SG Support Item Select released in January.
Well, there was
In
enough
addition to
complaining about the last time
powerful
they did
capsules
something
such
like
as
that.
Gladia Soul S
They're probably
and
holding
Gigas
off
Max
on
S,
that.
Could
useful
be,
items
yeah.
for enhancement are also coming back, including items that protect
They
weapons
can't really
and armor
afford
made from
to
materials
tick
even
off
if
the
enhancing preset
remainder
skills
of their
fails.
player base.
So enhance your beloved equipment and aim for even greater heights. During this period, the ARKS records will feature the limited-time field race South Kuvaris Run Spring 2024, in which you can participate by taking on the challenge within the event period. We will also add a limited-time task for the ongoing Spring 2024, so please continue to enjoy the seasonal event.
Okay, it's a ruin.
Starting April 10th, a new gameplay element will be added to Lucille Exploration. In addition to enemy level increases, there will be items that enhance player ability buffs, some allowing for consecutive use of photon blasts, and others that further empower throw actions. Both of them offer exhilarating power-ups, so be sure to grab them and experience the thrill firsthand. Furthermore, a new Dolls enemy called Garuva will appear in the new trial Garuva Diversion.
Why are new dolls appearing?
Eerie appearance. Defeat Garuva to get powerful ability enhancements, but be careful as your options to do so are limited. Additionally, if you get caught by Garuva, it'll unleash an incredibly powerful attack, so be sure to stay alert and exercise caution.
I mean, that
If you destroy
would
all the Garuva
sort of
cores on the
once
field,
again soft
you will have
confirm
a
that
chance to
Zepheto's
counterattack.
still around
So stand your
somewhere.
ground well, so you can be victorious in this trial. In addition, new ruinous boss enemies are waiting for you in the final area, Ruin Vibras, with its large horns, and Ruin Exegol, which manipulates gravity. To help you against these powerful enemies, a new 10-star rarity weapon series called Zover will be
Well,
introduced.
the answer to your question, it's Zover, not
Weapons from the
crossover.
Zover series not only restore HP when you use photon blasts, but also possess 3 different potentials depending on the weapon type. We encourage you to multi-weaponize them and find the best combination that suits your playstyle. In addition to this, Growth Mint 2 and LC-type augment capsules will drop in the updated Lucille Exploration. So take advantage of these new features and make your way
That
through
weapon
Lucille
series
Exploration.
sort of sounds like the series we've seen in the past, where like a third of the weapons
In
will be
conjunction with the
one
Lucille Exploration
potential and
update,
such,
all ship matchmaking
and
will
then
be
the rest will
available,
be another.
which will allow you to be matched with ARKS from other ships. By enabling all ship matchmaking under matchmaking word settings, you can play Lucille Exploration with ARKS from different ships. Also, unlike the universal ship quests in PSO2 blocks, in all ship matchmaking, any meseta or items obtained within the quest will be acquired as if they
I
were
get
obtained
it.
in
They're
your
doing
normal
this
ship.
as a panic solution.
Yeah, but
However, please note that by enabling all ship matchmaking, you will not be
okay.
able to utilize alliance
So they're doing
or
this
friend
in
features
more
specific
quests in
to
the
your ship.
future.
Additionally,
why not
features
all
such as
quests
urgent
right
quest
now?
notifications and live boosts will be turned off.
I don't know.
At this time, all ship matchmaking will only be available for Lucille Exploration, but we plan to gradually expand the list of eligible quests in the future updates. Please check the official site at a later date for details.
Oh, it's experimental right now.
Please note that because this feature includes experimental gameplay elements, we may suspend it without prior notice if necessary. Additionally, starting from April 10th, Tech Arts Customization will offer additional PAs and techniques. This update will include one PA for each weapon type, plus Ice, Thunder, and Dark techniques. This excludes wands and Talus weapons. We will also be making balance adjustments to some existing customizations, so we encourage you to try out different ones. Next, we have Mission Pass NGS Season 31. This time, the lineup features stamps, accessories, and more, as well as valuable items like personal shop use, 3 days, and SG scratch ticket prize slips, similar to the previous round.
Yeah, Montag, we've known about that for quite some
Our featured
time.
item this time is a cute mag form based on Kanui, the winner of the NGS character election.
I mean, I just checked it recently. We're
Additionally,
down
there will be
to
various new items, including an
15,000
accessory
being the
version
peak
of
just
armor
yesterday.
inspired by the Foul Rebus, an enemy from PSO2.
I mean, 1,500.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Don't miss out on all this loot! With this update, we will also be removing certain region designations for daily tasks. While not
Okay.
all designations will be removed, tasks that were previously limited to specific regions will now be accomplishable anywhere. Alliance tasks will also be getting a bit of a refresh. Alliance tasks that previously required collecting note-type augment capsules have been changed to collecting any augment capsule, making
Thank
them easier
you.
to complete.
Yes,
Please
thank you.
note
That
that
was
after the update, the tasks for collecting note-type augment capsules will no longer be
okay.
available.
It's just been so.
If you are
It's one of those
currently
things
working on these
where
tasks,
it's such
please
an
be sure to
extreme
complete them
random,
before the April 10th
such
update.
extreme RNG element. They should either boost the drop rate while you have that task, or not include give
Additionally,
that
during
task
this
out.
period, the ARKS
Yep.
records will
And
feature
also
the
highlight
keywords.
what area the
Manila
note
Outer
even
Area
drops
2
from.
board Stage 1.
They do, but that's the problem. It's often incorrect.
Make sure to join in while you can. We've also got several other improvements and new features in the works. Firstly, in the item enhancement section of the item lab, certain augment capsules like C Endemio and C Astrio S, which increase enhancement EXP, can now be directly used as material for enhancing equipment.
So when do we get auto-convert for gold prim armor and weapon,
On
too?
the other hand, to make it easier to tell which items cannot be
Well,
used
they
as
may make
material
it so
items,
it's just not
such as
dropped
the 9-star
anymore.
rarity Argenti weapon series, we will
That'd be
include
nice.
a not a material item description in the item details. Furthermore, the item lab and personal shop will now show the current enhancement cap for weapons and armor in the item list. Additionally, equipment that has reached its maximum enhancement or the current enhancement cap will be highlighted in orange text in the item list. This enhancement indicator will help you easily identify equipment that has not been enhanced to its maximum potential. Please utilize this feature as a guide when enhancing your weapons and armor. Moreover, the Enhanced Preset Skills feature will undergo a change. The feature to add a random level 1 preset skill will now be separated and introduced as a new feature in the item lab called Add Preset Ability. This will let you replace preset skills regardless of the base item's preset skills
So
or
basically, you
level
can
of said skill,
continue. I'm
with
hoping
a level
what
1 preset
she
skill.
means by that is that
Take this
you can
chance to switch up your
continuously
preset
just
skills.
replace the preset skill until you get the one you want. Unfortunately, that means everyone's going to be
Additionally, although not mentioned in the
going
video,
for the
item lab will offer
best in
other
slot.
convenient features apart from
going
the item
for the meta
enhancement.
one.
For instance, the state of switch tabs will be more maintained until you close the game, enhancing overall usability. We encourage you to explore and try out these additional features. We are also introducing improvements to make it easier for you to add items to your wanted item list. You will now have the option to add items directly from your inventory, the Use Item screen after drawing a scratch ticket, and the Personal Shop Search List screen. Furthermore, if you select an item that is already on your list, you can remove it instantly. Make sure to take advantage of this feature. By registering items on your wanted item list, you can conveniently search for them in the personal shop. If you haven't used this feature before, we encourage you to give it a try now that it's even more convenient. Continuing on, you will now be able to send kudos through the GP tree in Creative Space. You can earn SG for sending kudos, so take the time to explore and appreciate tons of imaginative creative spaces by other players. More exciting news! The number of save slots for designs will be expanded from 20 to 40. We encourage you to save multiple sets of your favorite build parts and create a diverse and captivating creative space. Moreover, Genesis points will now be rewarded for completing the Creative Space limited time tasks.
Yeah, that one makes
Utilize
sense.
these points to renovate your own creative space or that of your alliance.
Or just use them to buy
A new feature
master
will
cube
also
fragments.
be added to easy photo mode, allowing you to
Yep.
pause an emote at the exact moment you like.
One of my
Please
complaints
note that this
with
feature will
the
only be available to users with an
Creative
active
Space is
premium
how
set.
divorced it is
However,
from
it will be easily
the rest of the
accessible
game.
without the need for chat commands.
Basically,
We hope you'll use
Genesis
this to
points,
capture your
the
favorite
way you
moments
earn
and snaps
Genesis
and
points
pictures.
in this game, you almost...
Furthermore, a new option will be available in the salon
Oh,
that
dear.
allows you to go
They
bald
basically
if you
just made
choose not
that,
to select a specific haircut.
bald cap
We will
thing
also
you
be
were
adding a
looking
face
for
type with doe
completely
eyes for
pointless.
the lively face.
Yeah,
As well as a
the
refined version of
Aratron
the
one.
requested base body T1 skin type. We encourage you to try them out and see how they suit your character.
Can't do that with Type 2,
Moreover,
though.
we are excited to announce the arrival of the new Glen and Kanui themed ARKS ID backdrops.
Or maybe you can.
These can be
not
unlocked
sure.
using title points, just like before. Don't forget to check out your title tasks and snap them up. Next, let's look at the new AC Scratch Ticket, Vintage Classics. We're bringing back the old with a fresh twist, featuring vintage school uniforms, hakama, and border pattern innerwear. Don't forget to check out the Scratch Count bonus, which includes the alternative versions of the motion change items, Cherry Blossom Petals EX Idle and Glide. That's all for what's coming in the first half of April. But what about the second half? Let's start with this video.
Dark Falls time. Clones. Don't we know something that works with clones?
Double or Gemini if you're a global kid.
Yep.
Oh great, we're already going to... Okay, so everyone who just got their equipment up to date is probably fuming right now. Because
Could
they
be.
just...
Yeah.
Imagine you just got the grand effects onto your equipment. And suddenly they say, oh, by the way, we're going to have these 11-star weapons now. And there's no way to transfer your fixes over.
Right.
This is another reason I haven't done any real update on my equipment.
So I'm kind of surprised they're doing this in April. Because the game launched in July, if I remember correctly. July 2021.
Notice we're getting a lot of rehashes of equipment.
Yep.
Notice as if someone lost their art designer and the art and item designers.
No, apparently Yusak stuff is still in, and that comes into play in May or June. And here we have the Kavaris and Sia portion of the Halfa Environmental Testing Zone cleanup. Ah, so you're encouraged to clear as many trials as possible in this. That's Jenna. Another shield, huh?
I don't get it. And was that
Yeah.
the only outfit that they show?
It looked like it, yeah.
Kinda makes you.
A scratch for a scratch. Granted, it's not an AC scratch, but still a scratch for a game that Global doesn't have access to. And this is supposed to be for NGS's anniversary?
I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they're doing so. You know, I'm going to stop the bashing for a bit. But yeah, this.
A paper samurai hat? And I just realized we went past some BDSM outfits there.
Are you really surprised?
At this point, not really.
What did you think? Let's go into a bit more depth with some slides. The new high difficulty quest, Major Target Suppression Mission, Planet Crusher Blitz, will be available to play from April 17th. The Dark Falls Dalian that appears in this quest is an extremely powerful starless that attacks the arcs together with its clones.
Is Solus being removed?
As in previous Major Target Suppression missions, up to 4 players can participate and you will fail the quest after a set number of incapacitations. Prep like a top chef and slice and dice this new threat with your friends! The new 11-star Rarity Wingguard Weapon series is a drop for this quest. The Wingguard series potential increases damage to enemies for a set time after hitting them with a photon blast. In conjunction with this quest, Major Target Suppression Mission title tasks will also be added. Weekly tasks have also been updated, with the target quest changed from Halfia Lake Interception Part 2 to Planet Crusher Blitz, and a new task for Planet Crusher Blitz from NPC Leah May. We dare you to complete them all. In addition, starting April 17th, we'll be adding an assortment of build parts based on familiar PSO2 furnishings, including Sweets-themed furniture and retro furniture. You can snag this decor with SG, so why not spice up your own creative space or alliance space? If you've been climbing the walls this winter, we've got the perfect ARKS records for you. It's for the Parkour Master Trainia for solo and all classes. You can participate just by taking on the challenge during the event period, so put on some grippy shoes and go for the high score! Next, we have 2 Revival AC scratch tickets for you that weren't shown in the video. The Scratch Ticket Hairstyle Revival April 2024 features a collection of past NGS spec hairstyles. Your first draw for this scratch ticket is free, so be sure to log in during the release period and pull some hairstyles.
Huh. That's like the first time they've ever given away like a free one like
April
that,
2024
right?
re-releases a selection of NGS spec AC scratch ticket prizes centered on
think
prizes
so, yes.
released in April and May in the past.
I guess we'll see if
They
they
must
do
be
that in
really-
the
Have
future.
heaps of items to try out in character creation.
It sounds like they are getting really
Starting
desperate.
April 24th,
Yeah.
a colossal campaign is stomping your way to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of NGS in June. Halfa's Super Origin Festival! This tale woven on planet Halfa will soon celebrate its 3rd anniversary. As always,
So
credit
yeah, it'll
goes
be
to
your
all the ARKS defenders
it'll
out
be
there.
NGS's
Thank you
last
for playing.
anniversary. You don't get your act together.
Oh yeah, agreed.
To express our gratitude, we have prepared a number of super fabulous campaigns, and over and above what we had for the 2.5-year anniversary. This time, we will be focusing on limited time events and new in-game content. Starting April 24th, the NGS 3rd anniversary event will be held across planet Halfa. In addition to Central City's dazzling decorations, you'll find changes in all the regions. In addition, mischief symbols will appear in the exploration sectors of each region, so be sure to enjoy the variety of landscapes in different locations as you seek them out. Shiemi will be the navigator for this seasonal event, looking fabulous in her hakama. She is investigating some anomalies happening in Halfa, so see what Shiemi has to say and help her out.
That weapon series looks familiar.
The 9-star rarity
Oh,
Aeoni
yes.
Decalion weapon series will be available at Shiemi's seasonal
original
points
weapon
exchange
series.
shop.
Do not copy. Do not take.
Weapons exchange here have a plus 80 enhancement level from the start, and the
Just a
potential
stupid
has been unlocked
recolor.
up to level 6, giving them 6 slots worth of augments so you'll be able to make use of them right away. In addition, the augment Sezen Terra Serenifiv is particularly effective against seasonal enemies, so equip a weapon with this augment to take full advantage of the event. Please note that the Aeoni Decalion series cannot be used as material for enhancing equipment. Instead, you
Okay,
can exchange
so,
seasonal
great
points for up
job.
to
You
40
made them
gold
even
Prim
more
Sword 2s with a
worthless.
plus 60 enhancement level.
Yeah, why
So
would
use
anybody
these if you
spend
need
points on them now?
enhancement materials.
Especially when you already give
In addition
away
to the reappearance of
plus
the
80
Ani Rappi
weapons.
at the NGS 3rd anniversary event, the
at
new
what, level
Ani
75,
Emperor
I
Rappi
think?
and the Ani Great
Or
Rappi
level 80?
will also flap their way over for the festivities. Limited time tasks and title tasks
they
will also be added for this
designed-
event.
It was just
By
they're
completing these
constantly
tasks,
raising the
you can
limit
win
because
TA
they
customization
needed
disc
some
X
way to
only,
artificially
Arms Refiner 2,
artificially give us
Anniversary SP Scratch tickets, plus
something
the
to
Weapon
grind
Camo,
towards.
Aeoni Decali Almaty, and more. Jump into this limited time event for big time rewards. And don't forget ARKS records. During this period, head over to the field race, Stia Outskirts Dash Stage 1 to try your luck.
Yeah, even like level increases.
Sprint
I mean,
your way to the top of the charts.
put your mind to it, you can have that done in like 15 minutes or so.
The NGS 3rd anniversary event will feature the limited time urgent quest, Happy Rappy Rumble, Stia. Head to the event grounds to find bunches of Rappies and the Resplendent Nex with its dazzling attacks. The more enemies you defeat, the more lively the event grounds will become. So work together to take down the swarms of approaching enemies.
This looks similar to the one where the
NGS 3rd anniversary along with the Rappies in this
the Dolls
spectacular
Rappies
urgent
showed
quest.
up in.
Yep.
Next up is the limited time quest, Halpha Environmental Testing Zone Cleanup Op Part 2. While Part 1 took place in Aleo and Redum, this time around the quest will be at the zones in Kavaris and Stia. Your clear rank will be determined based on how many trials you've completed, so keep your wits about you and give it your all through the end of this quest. New limited time tasks will be added that can be accomplished by completing this quest. You will also get a reward box medal April 2024. The reward box April 2024 offers a variety of avatar items, such as weapon camo and accessories that were released in the past in PSO2. So be sure to check out the lineup and complete your collection. The limited time scratch ticket Anniversary SP Scratch offers new items like an outfit from PS series favorite Jene in PSO2 specs, plus stamps and build parts based on related characters. The lineup also includes the new weapon camo, Petal Phase and Conch Spire.
Oh, I get why there's only
only
two real outfits here.
Discs, mag forms, and more.
It's SP
Collect
Scratch,
seasonal points
so they
and
don't
SP
want to
scratch
make it
tickets to win
too.
bundles of prizes.
Since it's probably going to be free.
Yeah.
Next is the new AC scratch ticket, Noble Shadows. This scratch ticket showcases wear inspired by light garb combat styles and Japanese patterned shirts with oversized sleeves. The scratch count bonus features alternative versions of the Glide and Dash Shinobi EX motion change items included in the scratch ticket prizes.
So were there no cast parts at all for April?
That concludes the
cast
update
parts.
information for today. As I mentioned earlier, we wish to express our gratitude to all ARKS for their continued support. So, for our NGS 3rd Anniversary Halpha's Super Origin Festival, we will also be including a lot of campaigns and gifts events outside of what I presented today. Join us in the next NGS Headline for more info. Now, let's move on to the next segment.
So, let's see what the developers say this time.
For this segment, the NGS Operation Report, not I, but Hiro Arai, selected questions and comments from players to bring to the development and live operations teams and bring you their answers. I also have a letter from the developers to share with you.
That was an awkward pause.
We'll start with the letter from the developers, a message from the dev team to the players. Allow me to read it to you. We would like to thank all the ARKS out there for continuing to play NGS. Moving forward, we will provide information on the intended implementation of updates introduced in this program and our plans for future improvements in the form of a letter from the developers.
Which is a recall of
Let's
the
talk about the new
Flugel
11-star rarity Wingguard series weapons.
Yep.
Our intention in updating the rarity this time around was to provide ARKS with a motivating reward in line with the difficulty level posed in taking on the new ultra-high difficulty raid boss, Dark Falls Dalian. When we first released Dark Foul Solist last August, we regretted not setting up a reward to serve as the centerpiece for that quest, not providing a purpose for people to work hard and conquer the challenge. Back then, the first 10-star rarity weapons were released later on for the Urgent Quest variant of that quest. For this quest, though, we decided to set a new rarity of weapons as a reward right from the beginning.
They're still doing the Q&A, it's just going to happen a little bit later.
We will also be releasing an Urgent Quest variant for Dalion in May as well, making the gap between releases shorter than it was for Solus. When the Standing Quest version releases in April, we hope the top players will be leading the charge in attempting a clear, and expect even more players to join forces and take on this ultra-high difficulty raid boss when the Urgent Quest drops in May. Next, we have received feedback that the pace for equipment updates has been too fast, and equipment that players have worked hard to augment is becoming obsolete too soon. For this reason, we plan to release a feature to transfer all affixed augments from one piece of equipment to another in a future update.
Agreed.
We had originally
do it as
intended
augment
to
transfer
implement this
passes like you did in the base
11-star
game.
rarity weapon release.
Not even
but
that.
due to
I would
time
say
constraints
make
with
it
solidifying
just
specifications and implementation. We will be
with how
unable
things
to
are
do
set
so
up.
at this
Make
time.
it no augment passes. Just make it
We will report
automatic
back
option.
to everyone as soon as we have detailed specifications and
Okay.
a release date. So we ask for your patience as we work out the details.
And true, that would encourage players to go for the more powerful
Next up, I
augments
have some info
rather than relying on the
balance
Lucille
adjustments
ones.
for tech arts customization.
Exactly.
In conjunction with the addition of new
The augments
customizations
become
in
something
April,
that gets
we will also
transferred
be
from
adjusting the
weapon to
balance
weapon
of existing
series.
customizations.
Thus, building it up becomes something
This
that's
balance adjustment will be an
that
overall buff
stays
for
with them.
actions and types that are underutilized in order to widen the range of useful customization options. Only the Type 2 customization of the Sword PA Spiral Edge will have some of its attributes reduced.
That's the one where charge time increased, but you also got more power
Its
from it.
maximum damage when combined with Sword Art's overcharge stands out as unintentionally high in comparison to other
well.
actions.
Back to
We
relentless
apologize
please.
for this problem with the initial balance setting.
Yep.
In the balance adjustments, rather than reducing maximum potency, we will be making adjustments to the increased charge time. We believe this will make it easier to use a charge in situations where Sword Art's overcharge cannot be applied. We will continue to make balance
Well, watch
adjustments, mainly
Spiral
looking
Edge
to add
disappear
buffs
into,
based on how actions are
into
used by
obscurity
players.
again.
Uh-huh.
That's all for the letter from the developers.
Oh,
Thank
they're
you
not
for
even going to
continuing
talk about
play NGS.
Encore Jump.
That was the letter from the developers. Continuing on to the next section, I'll have answers from the development and live operations teams to player questions and comments. This time, I will be reporting on behalf of our hero. Here's the first one. I want to make my creative space feel more lively. Could you please increase the number of ARKS decoys that can be placed? Here is the answer. In response to this request, we plan to increase the number of placeable ARKS decoys in a future update. That was their answer. Let's move on to the next question. Would it be possible to bring the camera even closer to the characters in the salon? Here's their answer. In response to this request, in a future update, we are considering adding another step to change camera distance in the salon to get even closer to your character, so
How
that it
about
will be
further
easier to
away
see
out
face
in the
parts.
field?
Be on the lookout for more information. That was their answer. Let's move on to the next question. Could you please increase the number of accessory slots for each
Yes,
character?
almost all these are a significant number of these are
Here's their
for
answer.
character creation.
Yep. This one,
We are considering adding an accessory slot because the variety and demand for accessories that have cost of 1 is increasing, and the current 12 slots are increasingly being filled without maxing out the cost. Thank you for your patience in the meantime.
but they're not going to increase the 18
Please note, however, that there
maximum.
are no plans to change the maximum cost.
And that's for console limitations.
That was their answer. That's all for our Q&A today.
Well, in all honesty, a lot of people don't have
Moving
very
forward,
powerful
we will
computers
continue
out there
to select
either.
and bring your questions
True.
and feedback to the development and operations teams and share their answers with you.
Probably also has something to do with cloud as well, which we don't have on
Please share your
global, but
thoughts and
there
opinions
is a cloud
about this
version of the
program
game
and
for
the game using the hashtag
Japan for
NGS
both the
Headline
Switch
on
and
X
PC.
and other social media. Moving on to the next segment.
NGS Satellite Information.
Now let's move on from updates and talk about some other NGS related info. I'm sure it will get you even more hyped to play the game. Let's start with this. For some regions, an NGS store page is now available on Razer Gold and Coda Shop. AC can be purchased through a variety of payment options, such as credit cards, as well as through digital wallets, convenience store payments, and internet banking. We hope you'll give it a try. Please note that AC purchased from this store cannot be used on PlayStation 4. We are launching the ARKS Cash Super Sale, late spring 2024, on April 10th. The sale is different in every store, and you can make purchases to get the bonus once in each store.
Yeah, they're really
If
getting
you're
desperate
interested,
here.
take a look at the shops to see what's on offer.
You know,
In addition,
let's keep them
we're
desperate.
also holding Gear Up Your Class.
Eventually
special
they'll
campaign.
realize what they have
You
to
can
fix.
earn SG Legacy Coordination badges and other great rewards for doing the Bouncer and Ranger limited time tasks. If you have not played Bouncer or Ranger yet, this is a great opportunity to test them out. In addition, starting in mid-April, special daily tasks will be available every Sunday and Monday. On Sunday, you can get an N color change pass and star gems, and on Monday, you can get N meseta and star gems. These tasks can be easily accomplished, so we encourage you to aim to complete them every week. The first round is scheduled to start on Sunday, April 14th and Monday, April 15th.
Explanation is probably the different regions, but I'm curious, Sunday and Monday versus
Now,
Saturday
I'd like to
and
give
Sunday.
more information on our recently announced collab. We'll be holding a double collab featuring Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key, and Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salberg, from the popular Atelier JRPG series from Koei Tecmo's Gus brand.
I haven't played any of this series.
I haven't either, but they are,
It
from
will
what I
take place in
understand,
May
available on
2024.
Steam. At least some of them are.
Clean out your inventory to make room for Ryza, Claudia, Bose, and Marie avatar items, as well as mag forms of Fee, and Fairy and Alchemy Cauldron build parts. Plus a music disc of Ryza 3's opening theme, That Summer Hideout, and even more collab items are also planned for release. Check out the next headline for more details. Let me provide a brief introduction to the Atelier series. The Atelier series is an alchemy-themed JRPG series developed by Koei Tecmo's Gus brand. It's a popular series that has surpassed 7.5 million cumulative units shipped globally. The Atelier 25th Anniversary Commemorative Games, Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key, and Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salberg, are both highly rated and available on Steam, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch.
I think the last time I played a Koei JRPG was like way back on the Super Nintendo.
That's all
with,
for this episode of NGS
Nintendo
Headline.
Way of the Ninja.
Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game using the hashtag NGS Headline on X. Together, we can make NGS an even more fantastic game.
By the way, don't bother to send your feedback through the Discord. They do not listen to it at all.
So, how did I do as the guest
If
navigator
you
for
want
this
them to hear
edition of
it
Headline?
at all, even a small chance, it has to
I'm
be
really
through
looking
X.
forward to the new collab.
Yep.
And in preparation for the oncoming Dark Files, I'll do my best. The next episode of Headline will be on Tuesday, April 23rd. We'll be focusing mainly on information regarding the NGS 3rd Anniversary Halpha Super Origin Festival, as well as updates coming in May. Don't forget to like and subscribe! Now then, ARKS, we'll see you at the next NGS Headline.
Alright, so
Xander,
that's another... Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, seeing how Xander responded. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. There is almost no proper fanfare for another Dark Falls showing up. We have... They're throwing them out, basically... Basically, the way they're throwing them out, they're pointless. They're not even going to get referenced in the story, I'm pretty sure. And at this point... For everyone who was saying, "Oh, look, the next part of the story is going to come out in April, alongside this boss," and I'm going, I don't recall hearing anything about that. And then, what? Did we hear anything about story segments being attached to this?
No. There was never anything on the roadmap either to indicate there was going to be more story. So yeah, it's basically just a long burn from what, basically February until we actually get the new Chapter 7.
It's worse than that. The RP players are running out of stuff to work with. Several times we've had RP players come into Brightstar's Discord looking for lore information. It's just not there. We just don't have it.
Yep. And the lore that I keep seeing indicates Zeffetto lied, and there's a lot more going on. I mean, even in this, the new dolls. Why is there a new dolls there?
Why is there still more training going on even when the invasion has already started?
Yeah.
Why are the dolls still attacking the ARKS alongside the dolls? This is almost treasonous behavior if this was truly an invasion by the Starless.
Yeah. That, and, the whole Maze Runner thing. I mean, as far as we know, Zeffetto could simply be testing for immunity. I mean, going back to the whole seed thing, and I talked about this in the last Secrets episode, and wow, it was a long time ago I even did that at this point. But I talked about how, with the relationship of the Seed versus the Ds, and now called the Starless, that in Geralt, the characters there got transformed into Seed forms through infection, and Zeffetto's thing here could be testing for immunity to that infection, if in fact we are dealing with the Seed again here. So, but we just don't have answers. The past year has effectively been so focused on Manon and Aina that we've completely lost focus of the wider story, aside from what, Photonzol, I think? As well as the new mineral, or the new whatever it was, that helped us to save man, and the only thing I can say to that is, wait, is that the physical manifestation of a soul atomizer?
Doubt it. I mean, we had a soul atomizer is basically just a. Doesn't soul atomizer just clear status effects?
True. I mean, unless Manon actually really did die there, at which point, why didn't we just throw like a reverse assign at them then? The things that they've got going on in the story just don't make sense with the wider lore of the series at this point. It's really causing me to wonder just what is going to be happening in June, and if it's going to be impactful enough to at least start to write the game here. I'm not even asking for like a super over-the-top thing here. I'm just asking for something to at least show that they're trying to write the story, like they're trying to write a ship. But if there's just too few answers, then it's just more questions with very little to go off of in that city. I mean, I really don't know what I'm going to make of the situation. I mean, those of you that have been watching this channel for a little while know that I've been putting more focus on the classic games, but even that, I'm starting to wonder, what's the point if Sega's not even going to care about the series anymore?
That too. DGVR, it's another case where it's like, why the heck are the Starless? Yeah, the buddies with everything else. They're supposed to be trying to destroy everything, and a tame is just wandering around in front of them and not being molested by. There was a reason base PSO2 had enemy infighting. And it's because there were different factions active. What I really want is Dragon Sakai back, because when he was in charge of this series, even though there were balance issues, even though there were so many others, the story in the game was on the right track.
Yeah, I'll agree with that as well. Getting him back, of course, don't demote him, but throw him back in the role of a producer, director, something. Get him back on the team there, because it's either going to be that, or you're going to need someone like me to come in and actually fix things up. And I don't know how many people would be happy with that idea.
A lot of people say you don't want a solid fan in because there's issues, but at the same time, at this point, it's going to take a fan to even start to get this thing fixed. It's the thing in Hollywood, they don't like having fans work on projects because they're worried they they'll be too inflexible about the lore and stuff.
And yeah, they could just be spinning their wheels at this point, trying to just do something. But I mean, what does that mean? Does the game end next year and they're ready with whatever the next game is? I mean, we know that the artists that have worked on the character design for Phantasy Star 2 has recently been doing some stuff with their character design, so it's possible that could be in play, but we have nothing to go off of to say that for certain. It's like you need. Go ahead.
Thing is, Sega has to learn that you can't let... So, back in its history, there were two major failures in the console market that hindered Sega's future projects. The Sega CD and the 32X. Both of those killed confidence in the Saturn. And then because they killed the Saturn early, that killed confidence in the Dreamcast, which was a good system. But because no one could trust that Sega would carry on, could carry a console, very few people actually went and invested in a new Dreamcast. And thus that helped kill the system. If Sega cannot afford to let this game, let me put it this way: if they release a Phantasy Star 3, Phantasy Star Online 3, they're going to have such an uphill battle to get this fixed, to get even the Japanese side back to being interested again. That I suspect. I just don't see how there is a way forward for Phantasy Star as a series if they cannot get this series, get NGS righted before they exit.
Agreed. And they've had 3 years at this point, regardless of the fact that they moved to Sapporo. They took a game that was, granted it had its flaws at times, but still was brilliant, and now it's just like, this game is a shadow of PSO2, and frankly, at this point, barely has the right to be in that shadow. Now, again, the game has some good points. I at least love how the combat system is, but the loss of, just going on missions that have endpoints, and instead having this loop around each battlefield and just looking for the enemies and the trials, and then, later on, once players are adjusted to the area, then searching for the methods to quickly get Meseta. I'm just bored a great amount of the time with this game at this point.
Doesn't help that they decided stupidly to drop attention on the story. A lot of the casual content could have been just come from the story mode.
Wait, they actually locked the chat for subscribers only on the official stream?
Well, you gotta remember, subscriber only means people who are subscribed to the channel. Basically, anyone can still chat if they subscribe to the channel. I think it may have been just a method to keep bots out.
Okay, that would kind of make sense, yeah.
But at the same time, it's one more thing that's just looking suspicious.
Yep. Yeah, and frankly, their own bots would be able to take care of that, as well as banning certain words. Like on my channel, I don't allow any external links at all. Anyway, we're kind of just beating a dead horse here for, well, I guess a horse that's like 10% away from death at this point. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the news that happened with New Genesis here. Starting with the balance adjustments that are coming. They mentioned in the show the adjustment here for everything that's happening with Spiral Edge Type 2. But the other big one here is the Bouncer's add-on skill, Encore Jump. That is also changing, whereby now, if you do it consecutively multiple times within a certain amount of time, it's not going to cause any damage. So yeah, that's an interesting one to see there.
Makes me wonder how. I mean, I understand the Bouncer's the bounce. I mean, it's the add-on skill. It doesn't even do that much damage. So I'm having a hard time seeing it as actually worth nerfing.
I mean, with the Didal enemies, I kind of get it, because what ends up happening is you can, like, stomp on them, like, 5 to 10 times, getting all the way to the top, and then once that happens, then you launch your charged attack. So I kind of get it there, but still, it's an interesting choice they've decided to make here, to go ahead and do that. And these are just some of the balance changes that are coming. They've also got even more details on another page here. So for that, with swords, they've made an adjustment to Caliber Streak, where they ease the timing for accepting early input for the first and second steps. So that's where it's not hitting multiple times. Instead, really you're trying to line it up so that you're able to parry an attack. For techniques, under Megid, they relax the maximum number of dark orbs that can be stocked per attack when not charging. For bow adjustments, Dimensional Ray, they've shortened the hit interval for uncharged attacks, and they shortened the interval before launching a follow-up attack when charged. For Waker Harmonizer, for Fredrin writing, change the specifications so players can freely change direction while holding down the PA button after a variant attack, even if locked onto an enemy. And then as for Tech Arts customization adjustments, so this is where they're talking about the spiral edge change that they went over in the show. But they did increase the potency of Type 3 when Hunter Arts Avenger is not invoked. So we'll have to see how the numbers come out on that one, I guess. For Wired Lance adjustments, for Turbulent Train, they increased the potency for Type 3 when Hunter Arts Avenger is not invoked. For Partisan, Thrusting Javelin, they decreased the photon point cost for Type 2. For Twin Daggers, Helzius Coat, they expanded the attack range for Type 1, and they increased the potency of Acceleration Drive for Type 3. For Knuckles, under Thousand Blows, they increased the potency of Type 2 against non-downed enemies. For Talus Convergence Shot, they decreased the photon point cost for Type 1. For bow adjustments, Dimensional Ray, they increased the potency of Type 2. Soaring Blades, Rampaging Harrier, they increased the potency Type 2 against non-downed enemies. And then Harmonizer, Wolfen Raid, for Type 3, they increased marker accumulation for the second hit of non-variant attacks for treble clef marking. And I guess this is to bring all of them into line with what they've got planned coming out with the next update to Tech Art Customs. Moving on from that, keep in mind that you do still have the ability to collect your 4th anniversary, PSO2 Global 4th anniversary gift. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and grab that. You can also still get one of the Rayar series through the item traders in the various cities.
But it's kind of hard to even really get excited about it when you know they're going to be outmoded very soon.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But if you still don't have a 10-star, you'll at least be able to pick one up through the limited time tasks. And actually, they talked about this, I believe. No, maybe not. There's a thing with Razor Gold going on currently. where if you recharge, you get a 5% gold rebate. And this is specifically for Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, and Thailand. And then we have another update on the Microsoft Store patch delay issue. This came out on the 13th, and what happened is they confirmed that some eligible players who had a premium set active did not receive the compensation distributed during the scheduled maintenance, and they're going to send those affected 2 of the premium day 1 set. Or premium set day 1. Also, the seasonal event weapon enhancement support campaign is ongoing. Now, this is for the 9-star for the seasonal event, but they did want to note here, they regret to inform us of partial changes made to the content of the seasonal event weapon enhancement cost. They canceled the augmentation success rate plus 10% boost that was ongoing due to a bug. And there's also a bug with some boost content not being displayed as well. Alright, that does it for New Genesis. Now, we got some interesting stuff out of Clementine here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that now here. So,
yes, I'm going to say, if you're feeling bad about NGS right now, this is actually very good news.
Yeah. We got a little bit to get through first, though, here. In fact, let me make this a little bit bigger for everyone here. So, first off, back on the 13th, they decided to open up the test server for everyone that created an account before that day. And you can get access simply by going to the roles channel and turning on the testing role. To access the test server, simply select Entrance 2 upon logging in. Your characters do not carry over, and the server will not always be available. And it is subject to data wipes periodically when needed. While on this server, your account is set to sandbox, so you can use a handful of commands, such as setting your level and spawning weapons in, etc. With this, they hope to gain more insight and assistance in tuning Ultimate and other updates in the future. If interested, go ahead and grab the role. After that, we have this here, where they need to make a note about the website and forum. Due to the increasing price of the web host every year and the license fee for Envision practically quadrupling, they've made the decision to move web hosts and drop Envision as their forum software. They don't know if they're going to move to another forum software or if they're just going to keep the wiki and Discord. Things to note, the wiki will be updated and transferred as seamlessly as possible. There may be some minor disruption, but they'll do their best to make it as straightforward as possible. And they call out Mika and the team being wonderful and helping with this. The forum, unfortunately, seems to be neglected, and there is no sane way for them to convert to any other software easily. Envision seems to have ended support for the marketplace as well, which means less support for the futures they initially intended. The goal now is to scrape together what guides and useful information from the forum is available and move it to the wiki with credits where they are due. And then anybody with something they'd like saving on the forum, it's actually too late. I went there yesterday, and yeah, the forum is gone at this point. So if you had something there, sorry, maybe the Wayback Machine can help you. Alright, and then they make a note here about the ongoing Anguish missions for this week, or S4 Anguish missions. So, in this case, it's White Beast and Robotanical Gardens. Alright. And then, this week, Actually, yesterday they made an upload to YouTube. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now here.
Yeah, a bit of a bombshell that made a lot of people happy, if a bit skeptical.
Yeah, we really can't tell if this is real or if this is an early April Fool's joke. But let's go ahead and take a look at this here. I'm trying to bring the audio up for you.
Woof.
Yeah, so Clementine has made the announcement that they are actively working on a base PSO2 server.
Sega, you are about to get Project 06 again. You're about to be shown up by your fan base. This is not a good look, and honestly, if your fans can do a better job than you can, what do we need you for anymore? It's
Yeah.
a very blunt statement. I want Sega to do its job and do its job well, but if it's constantly failing like this, what's the point of you, Sega?
Yep. What's to stop your fans from creating their own game at this point? And this is just one step in that direction here. Because the team has had years of experience developing Clementine now. Now they're working on PSO2. I wouldn't be surprised if 5 to 10 years down the road, the team, uses this to actually get jobs in the industry to produce their own MMO or online action RPG in the style of PSO or PSO2. This is how much of a shadow PSO2 casts over New Genesis at this point. And how much of a failure it has been. And the only thing that's, worrying me in my mind at this point here is Sega actually going to pull the trigger and issue a cease and desist on this? And if they do, it's not going to do anything because I'm aware of at least 2 or 3 other projects that are also trying to work on PSO2 servers. It's just this is the first one that's ever come out publicly like this. So yeah, this was this was quite the announcement. They also had some other things to say along with this here. This came from Gnome. They say they'd like to post a brief update following the YouTube premiere today. Our Phantasy Star Universe server won't be affected by what you watch today, progress-wise or else. We're still hard at work fixing up PSU and implementing new features. Oh, and actually this is covering up your chat there a little bit here. Phantasy Star Online 2 is still a work in progress and we'll be touching up on the details in the near future. Starlight is the name of the project, and it has been in works for a while now. Starlight has its own team of people, and they're merging with us, but we'll be keeping the name of Phantasy Star Online 2 Starlight, while being under our newly formed umbrella as we move into other games. This in no way means PSU is taking a back seat, and will be our top priority for the foreseeable future, while we address some big issues and look at new content. Some of the things we've been tinkering on behind the scenes for PSU and trying to address. Server stability. Server stability has been a rough one, fighting through SSL's silly antics. The rare Bigfoot crashes are all being slowly addressed, with performance and stability being on top of our priorities right now. Discord bot. Jakku has been hard at work since he rejoined the team on implementing a Discord bot with our servers. The bot will have a number of features, including in-game announcement broadcasts to the Discord, price checking the market, and helping us moderate and administer the game. More info on this soon. Early game progression. We've encountered a large number of issues with early game progression, from EXP being way too fast to EXP feeling really sluggish in some places, along with feeling like you're struggling to find any gear that helps with the grind. To assist in combating this, we're changing the EXP curve early on, making it feel like a smoother experience overall, along with a new planet drop system, where items are more likely to drop from enemies for your current type at an appropriate grade and level for the mission you're running early on. We've also added an ability to manually tweak MP rates on individual missions with ease on our end, so we can test and play around with values until they feel right for their respective ranks and mission difficulty. Ultimate. Obviously, Ultimate has been a long time coming, and trust me, it's coming. It's in the oven, and Bob and the gang are sweating over this beautiful meal for you all to enjoy. If you haven't already, you're able to help us play and test Ultimate over on Entrance 2 before it goes live. We're expanding into new games, and we're not leaving the previous ones behind. Our current team will be continuing to work on Phantasy Star Universe as we expand our team overall. If you have any questions regarding PSU or PSO2, feel free to reach out. We're happy to talk. So yeah.
So there is one thing that I am thinking about. That's a major difference between Phantasy Star Online 2 and Phantasy Star Universe. And it has to do with what is available for... Remember how they said they couldn't include story because it was part of the subscription?
I've been looking into that. Honestly, I can't get a straight answer on this. And this is something I'm going to address in my episode 3 video that's going to be coming up in a little bit here. But it's possible that the network packets for story were simply never captured. Unfortunately, I just can't get a straight answer from anyone about that.
Well, what I'm just saying is, with PS, like there's a lot of content that's not available in PSU because it wasn't available to free-to-play players, right?
That's true.
And the
Yeah.
Clementine server. With Phantasy Star Online 2, none of that's going to be true. There's going to be a lot that's going to be... Almost everything's going to be available to free-to-play players.
Agreed. And in fact, at points, I believe it's tied to certain progressions, if I remember correctly.
I mean, everything, including technically even the AC scratch items are going to be are. Oh boy.
And it's all in a database, so they could certainly add new stuff, given as long as they give things the right item IDs and such. So, yeah, we could see brand new costumes coming out and such on a server like that. And of course,
you know,
go ahead.
And you know this all happened because Sega started to slack, and this is why you can't slack in the MMO business.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. The fans of the series have effectively shot a bullet across Sega's bow at this point. That they need to shape up, or they're just going to go and do their own thing.
I think that was the old engine. And the old engine's much more stable as well as that from what I hear.
Yeah, the thing I'm curious about in all this is specifically how are they going to handle PSO2? Like, are they going to just start it as if it's episode 1 again, and we're going to have the Matterboard back? Or are they going to be stuck on the omnibus version from the start, and it'll be similar to what happened with Global?
There may be the omnibus version. It's a question of how much of the Matterboard was actually gutted out of the game's code.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, this community has basically worked miracles with the older engines. You've seen some of the stuff they were able to pull off with Blueburst. They can pull it off if they. I have faith that the fans will be able to pull it off.
Yep. Just hearing that ping of a blue or a yellow tablet dropping down again would be interesting, to be certain.
The Matterboard was, while it slowed everything down and there were a few hiccups in its implementation, it honestly made things feel like there was a bit of an adventure and journey to PSO2's story. Episode 4 was so streamlined you could basically jam through the story in a single sitting if you wanted to, and it was the same problem with every other episode. There's a reason episodes 1 through 3 were considered the best of the game.
Yep. Now, I'll say, in terms of the Matterboard itself, I would say I'm okay with having the pity system in place. I think going back to the original implementation of the Matterboard would probably be a bad idea, just because of how those drops were from time to time.
Extremely bad idea.
But yeah, let's see what the team is able to do. And, frankly, at this point, I'm curious what tools they're using there, and if it would even be possible to perhaps create an episode 7.
I remember hearing somewhere else that they had such control over the quest system that they could virtually do anything. So that says we might get a fan-made episode 7.
I might even want to get in on that myself. We'll have to see.
I'm not saying the Clementine team; it was someone else. Just
Gotcha.
clarifying, just so the Clementine team doesn't feel extra pressure.
Yeah, of course. In this case, let's get the game online first, and then make sure that's all working, and then look into story. Aside from what you got to do minimum to at least get players into the game, and make sure all the features are available.
Do we want to move on to the NGS roadmap?
Well, no, we talked about what was on the roadmap at the start of the show, remember?
Okay.
But yeah, that was basically the big news, and that's effectively everything that we have for today, unless you've got anything else here, Rooks.
Sadly, I don't. There isn't much to work with NGS, other than my side project, but that's not going to be ready for a long time, and I don't think it would fit into a Dawns arc.
Gotcha. Alright, well then, in that case, that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rooks and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everybody.